Hello, chess enthusiasts. Have you ever wanted to learn the game of chess? Chess is a game of strategy and tactics. It is a game for everyone. It doesn't matter if you are young or old, anyone can play chess. This essay will guide you through the basics of chess. We will cover everything you need to know to start playing. This is for beginners. It is also good for those who want to learn chess again. Are you ready to begin your chess journey? Let's dive in. Before we start, we need to set up the board. The chessboard is like a battlefield for your mind. It has 64 squares. The squares are in 8 rows of 8. The squares are black and white. The board should be positioned so that each player has a white square in the bottom right-hand corner. Now let's set up the pieces. Each player starts with 16 pieces. You have the king, queen, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, and 8 pawns. Each piece on the chessboard has its unique powers and moves. The chessboard is like a battlefield, and each piece represents a different type of warrior with its own strengths and weaknesses. Understanding these pieces and how they move is crucial to mastering the game of chess. Let's dive deeper into the roles and movements of each piece, starting with the king. Think of them as your army. Each piece has a specific role to play, and together, they form a cohesive unit that can be used to outmaneuver and outthink your opponent. The key to success in chess is to use each piece to its fullest potential, leveraging their unique abilities to control the board and ultimately checkmate the opponent's king. The king, the most important piece, he can move 1 square in any direction. While the king is not the most powerful piece in terms of movement, his importance cannot be overstated. The entire game revolves around protecting your king while trying to capture your opponents. Losing your king means losing the game, so always be mindful of his position and the threats around him. The queen, the most powerful piece. She can move any number of squares diagonally, horizontally, or vertically. The queen combines the powers of the rook and the bishop, making her incredibly versatile and dangerous. She can control large swaths of the board and is often used to launch powerful attacks. However, because of her value, losing the queen can be a significant setback, so use her wisely. The rook. This piece is like a castle. It can move any number of squares horizontally or vertically. The rook is a powerful piece, especially when it comes to controlling open files and ranks. Rooks are particularly effective in the endgame when the board is more open, and they can move freely. Coordinating your rooks can create formidable threats to your opponent. The bishop. This piece is like an archer. It can move any number of squares diagonally. Bishops are excellent for controlling long diagonals and can be very powerful when working together with other pieces. Each player starts with 2 bishops, one on a light square and one on a dark square, and they can cover a lot of ground when used effectively. The knight. This piece moves in an L shape, 2 squares in one direction, horizontally or vertically, and then 1 square to the side. The knight is unique because it can jump over other pieces, making it very versatile in crowded positions. Knights are particularly effective in closed positions where their ability to hop over obstacles can create unexpected threats. The pawn, the brave little soldier. It moves 1 square forward, but it captures diagonally forward. Pawns may seem weak, but they are the backbone of your army. They can be promoted to any other piece, except the king, if they reach the opposite end of the board, making them incredibly valuable in the endgame. Proper pawn structure is essential for a strong position. Remember, each piece has its strengths and weaknesses. Understanding them is key to winning the game. Mastering chess requires not only knowing how each piece moves, but also how they work together. Strategy, foresight, and careful planning are essential. By learning the unique characteristics of each piece and how to use them in harmony, you can develop a powerful and effective chess game. So study your pieces, practice your strategies, and get ready to lead your chess army to victory. The goal of chess is to trap the opponent's king. This is called checkmate. When the king is in checkmate, it cannot escape capture. To checkmate, you need to attack the king so that no matter where it moves, it is still under attack. This requires strategic thinking and planning your moves carefully. Remember, chess is like a puzzle. You need to think a few moves ahead to outsmart your opponent. Section 5. Special Moves. Unleashing the element of surprise. In the intricate world of chess, mastering the basics is essential, but knowing the special moves can give you a significant edge over your opponent. These moves are not just about strategy, they are about seizing the moment and turning the tide of the game in your favor. Chess has some special moves that add an element of surprise. Thess moves can catch your opponent off guard, creating opportunities for you to gain a strategic advantage. They are the hidden gems of the game, often overlooked by beginners but cherished by seasoned players. These moves don't happen often, but knowing them is important. They can be the difference between a win and a loss, a draw and a victory. Understanding when and how to use these moves can elevate your game to new heights, making you a formidable opponent. Castling. This move allows you to move your king 2 squares towards a rook, and then jump the rook over the king to the next square. It's a unique move that serves a dual purpose. It helps to protect your king and also brings the rook into play, connecting your rooks and enhancing your defensive structure. It helps to protect your king. Castling can only be done if neither the king nor the rook involved has moved before, and there are no pieces between them. Additionally, the king cannot be in check, nor can it move through or into check. This move is a cornerstone of chess strategy, often executed in the early to mid-game, en passant. A special pawn capture that can occur under specific circumstances. This move can only happen immediately after a pawn moves 2 squares forward from its starting position and it lands beside an opponent's pawn. The opponent's pawn can then capture it as if it had only moved 1 square. This move is a rare but powerful tool to disrupt your opponent's pawn structure. Pawn promotion. If a pawn reaches the other side of the board, it can be promoted to any other piece, queen, rook, bishop, or knight. This move can dramatically change the dynamics of the game, often turning a seemingly lost position into a winning one. Most players choose to promote their pawn to a queen, the most powerful piece, but there are strategic reasons to choose a rook, bishop, or knight instead. These special moves add excitement and complexity to the game. They are the secret weapons in a player's arsenal, capable of turning the tide in critical moments. Mastering these moves requires practice and a deep understanding of the game, but once you do, you'll find that they open up a world of possibilities, making each game a thrilling experience. Section 6. Opening moves, laying the foundation for victory. The first few moves in chess are crucial. They are like the opening lines of a story, setting the tone and direction for everything that follows. A well-thought-out opening can provide a solid foundation for a successful game, while a poor one can leave you struggling to catch up. They set the stage for the entire game. The opening moves are not just about moving pieces, they are about establishing control, creating opportunities, and preparing for the middle game. Each move should be deliberate and purposeful, aimed at gaining an advantage over your opponent. Here are some tips for a strong opening. Control the center. The center of the board is the most critical area in the opening phase. By controlling the central squares, you can dominate the game and restrict your opponent's options. This control allows your pieces to move freely and exert influence over the entire board. The center of the board is like the high ground in a battle. Whoever controls it has a significant strategic advantage. Use your pawns and pieces to establish a strong presence in the center. This will give you more space to maneuver and create threats. Try to control the center with your pieces and pawns. Develop your pieces. Development means getting your pieces out of their starting positions and into active play. The sooner you develop your pieces, the more options you will have for both attack and defense. Get your pieces out of their starting positions and into the game. Knights and bishops should be developed early, as they are crucial for controlling the center and supporting your pawns. Avoid moving the same piece multiple times in the opening unless absolutely necessary. Protect your king. Your king is your most important piece. Keep him safe. Castling is a key move in the opening that helps safeguard your king and connect your rooks. It also helps in developing your rook, bringing it into the game. Remember, a good opening can give you a significant advantage. It sets the tone for the rest of the game and can put you in a strong position to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. Study different opening strategies, practice them, and incorporate them into your play. With a solid opening, you lay the foundation for victory. Section 7. Rookie errors navigating common pitfalls. Everyone makes mistakes, especially when learning chess. Here are some common mistakes beginners make. Moving the king too early. The king is vulnerable in the opening. Keep him safe until later in the game. Not developing pieces. Don't forget to bring your pieces out of their starting positions. Ignoring your opponent's moves. Pay attention to what your opponent is doing. Try to anticipate their plans. By being aware of these common mistakes, you can avoid them and improve your game. Section 8. Level up your game from beginner to chess master. Want to become a better chess player? Here are some practical tips. Play regularly. The more you play, the better you'll get. Find friends to play with or play online. Study games. Look at games played by grandmasters. Try to understand their strategies. Focus on tactics. Chess is full of tactical possibilities. Practice solving chess puzzles. Have fun. Chess is a game. Enjoy the process of learning and improving. Remember, becoming a good chess player takes time and effort. Section 9. Your chess journey begins now. Congratulations. You've just learned the basics of chess. Now it's time to put your knowledge into practice. Remember, chess is a journey of learning and discovery. Embrace the challenge, learn from your mistakes, and most importantly, have fun. Go forth and conquer the chessboard.